there, geeks, gamers, and nonconformists. This is Matt Haywood from EntertainmentBuddha.com bringing you the inaugural 2015 episode of the Buddhacast. Today's topic is going to be our 2015 Geek Wish List Extravaganza Marvelous Super Duper podcast of the year 2022, 2015 Terminator Edition.
We're going to get an acronym for that later.
Yes, someone print up a T-shirt. We need some graphics for that as well. Speaking of it, did anyone see that? I put it up last week. I think it was called, it was that mashup. Some dude put Star-Lord on a Raptor on top of a pile of T-800s, and he's holding the tri-blade lightsaber from Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I want this logo to be for this podcast.
Can we just make that the Entertainment Buddha logo from now on?
I mean, dude, that's like one of the greatest images I've ever seen. I love when geeks kind of get creative and just mash random shit that has no place being together. So
when we get the Entertainment Buddha magazine, that'll be our limited edition cover, first issue.
Exactly. Be on the lookout for that on newsstands in 2050. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to kind of go through and talk about 3 or 4 things that we are looking forward to or wishing for or wishing to happen in 2015. This could be in video games, movies, TVs, comic books, art. It doesn't matter. That's why we are Entertainment Buddha. We are all geeked out here. So we're going to go around and introduce you to the podcasting team. We got some new voices on here and some existing ones, some old ones, and some fairly fresh ones. So again, I'm Matt Haywood. I'm the creator and editor-in-chief of EntertainmentBuddha.com. I am the idiot that started this project almost 5 years ago, giving myself a second full-time job to enjoy. With me, we've got the co-host of our No Pun Intended podcast, Nick Hershey. How you doing there, Hershey, man?
Good, doing well.
Excellent. I know you guys just recorded last night, so hopefully we'll get the latest No Pun Intended out tomorrow for everyone to listen to.
Yep.
Or by the time this gets out, it'll probably be yesterday or 2 days prior to when you're listening to this. So we got Nick. We also have David Sieber. How you doing, David?
I'm doing good. Thanks, man.
Fantastic. We haven't really talked since our Golden Buddha Award, so everything's doing all right.
Yeah, not too much happening over here.
Good to go. Good holidays. Some games in, some movies in. Hopefully.
Yeah, between catching up on sleep from 2013, getting around slowly.
You know how it is. And we also have a new voice on the podcast and a new addition to the site completely. His name's Craig Munn. Craig, we kind of. I wouldn't say we work together because it's all digital, but we all, Craig and I used to participate on a site called videogamewriters.com, VGW. It has since disbanded because the Lord Creator has gotten a job at Game Informer, believe it or not, so cheers to Brian Shea. But Craig has come over to Entertainment Buddha to hopefully start spreading his gospel on our digital pages, so it's nice to have you, Craig. How you doing?
It's nice to be here. Hopefully I won't get in everyone's way too much.
All that matters is that you have that fantastic British accent, which elevates this podcast instantly. I always like to have at least one Brit on here to make us sound more intelligent.
I was waiting for someone to bring that up every time.
It's just such a beautiful accent, and I know we butchered it when we moved over here hundreds of years ago. But
I'm saying nothing.
It really does add a level of enlightenment or refinement to the Buddhacast. So. Thanks for joining in. Hopefully you enjoy talking with us. All right, so like I said, we're going to go through and just talk about whatever. What are we wishing for in 2015 in the land of geek? I mean, that's what we're all about. We love geeky stuff. And those of you who think geek is a bad word, get over it. It's not. Embrace being a geek, damn it. There's nothing wrong with it. A nerd, on the other hand, maybe. But geek, I'm tired of it being a dirty word. It's great to be a geek. That's why we do what we do. So, without further ado, anyone want to volunteer to go first with their wishes in geekery?
Recently, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You got it.
Fight.
From recent experience, I would love for sooner than later during this year for the game DVR and Xbox One to come up to standards where it actually works properly would be amazing. I got the code, I told you before, I got the code of death where I can't save or upload like almost anything now as far as videos. And but yet you download.
And that's a known issue then? I mean, that's documented and
they've
other
had this,
people...
They've known this since almost from the day it came out. I've followed back, people writing Microsoft back in 2013. So, and
Awesome.
I sent him an email the other day too, trying to figure out what's going on with this. Haven't heard back.
Hey, but they're going to upgrade the look of avatars, though.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, that's what I was looking for, to have my...
That'll be worth a console update. I mean, who needs functioning game DVRs when your avatar can look cool?
Yeah, I need it to look just like me so it can be sad digitally and in person.
Yeah, I feel fortunately for me, I've never really ran into Upload Studio issues, although it's definitely not an ideal solution. PS4 does a pretty good job at capturing locally. It's still just 720p. You can still only do 15-minute clips, so it's not the same as having a capture card, but the Xbox One it's definitely clunky. You know, voice commands, this command, 5-minute clips, this, that, and the other thing. It has to go to your SkyDrive, and
you have to stop, pull up, snap, and then drop it, back down to your game, which is a pain in the ass having to go through that. So,
yeah, I mean, we're being typical gamers. We're bitching about something in gaming, but I mean, if you're going to include a feature, it should function at least.
Yeah, ideally.
You guys agree with that?
Absolutely. I want to know. I want to know if your avatar can write a letter to Microsoft,
using your voice.
Using your voice.
Yes.
So you create one letter and it's sent twice, so they get double letters.
Yeah.
That's what I think they should do.
I mean, we're kind of poo-pooing on the Xbox One right now. There's no hate here. We love all consoles. We just like making fun of our hobby, but I can feel your pain there, man. There's nothing worse than getting excited for a project, getting it planned out, and then the tools you're given just fail you completely.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, I guess we kind of go around, or if you just want to list all of yours right now, or if someone else wants to shoot a wish out there, feel free to do so.
Keep this circle.
Well, one of my wishes is that Ubisoft's release of Assassin's Creed will actually go according to plan this year. Or if they have to delay it, then so be it. But
and what would that plan be? Are we talking no delays? It actually plays when it comes out. It looks like it's a
I'm hoping
game.
I'm hoping there's no delay. Like nobody likes having the delay, but if a delay is what it takes to make sure they don't have the Unity debacle, then I'd be okay with that. I just want to make sure the game works and plays like it's supposed to.
Delays suck. Let's face it. I mean, 2014, the tail end, it was supposed to be packed with more games than that came out. I mean,
Right.
Witcher was delayed, Evolve was delayed, Batman delayed. So they do suck. I mean, because we get excited. We see these shiny trailers and glossy screenshots, and we're like, holy shit, I got to play this game. It's coming out this fall. And then they're like, yeah, just kidding. It's not. It's not even close to being done. So
Yeah.
I'm in the camp. I'd rather them take the time and get the shit ironed out rather than
right.
release a buggy piece of crap.
I agree.
But it almost has to, it's like the developers and the publishers got to work with marketing, be like, listen, I know you want to get this out here and hype it and get interest generated, and so we can start selling pre-orders and shit, but ultimately it could come back and bite them in the ass, which I think it's going to do with Ubisoft after its fairly rough fall release lineup.
Well,
I think you have thoughts on that?
Well, at least with this year, they're only releasing one Assassin's Creed game, right? They're not
For
doing
now. I mean, you never know with Ubisoft, man.
Well,
I mean,
that's true.
they dropped the Rogue thing, like, I think halfway through last year. They're like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're doing this too.
Yeah, you're right. So, I think if they just focus on this one game, it'll be a lot better than if they try and pump out two like they did last year.
From a company perspective, when their stockbrokers backed out, I think that's good enough reason to take a step back and look at what you're doing. And actually plan it out better this year.
So what? Someone like dropped major shares or something?
Yeah, I mean their stocks dropped substantially after what happened with these two, and a lot of people just stopped really believing in Ubisoft, and so stockholders were like, we don't trust enough that Ubisoft takes the time to release a product. Why invest in them?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Business is business. Any thoughts from you, Craig? Are you? I mean, we're not like shitting on Ubisoft here, but
I mean, it's not just Ubisoft that made the fuck up in the first place. Quite a few people have actually done that over the last year, and it's kind of getting tiring seeing developers kind of release rush products out of the gate quickly, and then expecting people to wait 2 or 3 months for them to actually be playable, and then just offer something in return, like an extra piece of content or
Yeah, a Dead
add-on
Kings
and an
DLC,
apology.
baby.
That's not an acceptable practice. I mean, I'm happy that I'm getting Halo 3 ODST for free, but I haven't been able to play the game since it came out.
Yeah, you would have been happier if you could play the $60 game you purchased.
Exactly. Instead,
Over there
I
it's
spent
probably a
2
little
hours
cheaper, but-
angrily, frustratingly yelling at the TV because the frame rate had halved while I was trying to play online.
Yeah, see, the whole Halo MCC thing is still near and dear to me because I got it during the review window and it just blew me away. I was like, this is amazing. Everything was working. It looked great. The remaster was great. 60 FPS was great. But then it hit public and just I haven't even touched the game yet. I mean, it's like Craig said, it's really not even worth dipping into because you don't know what type of experience you're going to get that night.
I mean, I could quite happily sit there watching the re-rendered cutscenes from Halo 2 over and over again, but I just...
Right.
Yeah.
Or watch Nightfall a couple times, which honestly got very lame in my opinion. I don't know if anyone watched the full thing.
I actually haven't even... I was so angry with how the game had turned out, I didn't even watch it.
Yeah, so... I tried to get through it. Whenever I'm a professor, so I get a nice little winter break, and I usually try to catch up on DVD special features and all that shit over the 4 weeks I'm off. And I was like, I'm going to hit Halo TV, and I'm going to watch all this crap. And second episode of Nightfall, I passed out, and then I started watching some of the terminal videos, and you need to unlock the ones in Halo 2 to check those out. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just move on to Civilization, which I've been cracking out on like a fiend lately, so... Oh, good. All right. So, yes. Buggy, crappy launches, please go away.
Please.
Craig, while you're on the mic, how about any wish you want to shoot out there?
Kind of a selfish demand, but a couple days ago, I'm kind of a rhythm game fanatic, as my bio quite clearly points out, and a couple of days ago, I woke up to find out that Harmonix had just, out of the complete blue, just like, here you go, have some more Rock Band DLC. After 2 years.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Just out of nowhere. It's like someone found a file hidden on a computer that was tucked under a desk. And they're like, oh, shit.
Like, usually they give you a few days to, process it in, decide whether you love the new content or hate it. And, no, they just dumped it the day before, said, here, have some new content. And so far, it's kind of thrown up this massive... kind of what are they going to do next from all the fans of Harmonix. So my kind of wish for this year is that they either release more or just start with the next one. I'm desperate to have a new Rock Band title in my life.
Yeah, that's a great point because if you think about the whole rhythm music game genre, I mean it freaking exploded with Guitar Hero on what, PS2? Was first Guitar Hero on PS2?
It was on the PS2.
Yeah. And then from here, the 360 and PS3 got Guitar Hero 3, and then those guys left and created the Rock Band series. And I mean, it was nuts. I mean, I'm sure everyone on here for 2 or 3 years of their life, at least 2, played one of these games extensively after a night of drinking or with friends or with family. I still have a drum kit in my crawl space. I have 3 or 4 guitars, drumsticks. I never got the keyboard or the DJ deal, but I'm with Craig. I'd be all about getting back into that. I mean, I was actually at an arcade, and they have Guitar Hero arcade machines, and I strapped on the plastic axe again and was grinding on some hard, and people were like, and I was missing notes left and right. But it is a fun genre, and I'm with you. I definitely go at it again.
I mean, my kind of fandom for that series goes way beyond what you just said. I mean, I have the entire Pro kit set up in the corner of my bedroom, and it gets played on a daily to weekly basis. Just because
really?
It's just, yeah,
that's awesome.
It was it's my way of cooling down after work, or if I'm particularly stressed, or if I've got nothing to do. It just passes the time really well.
You're an actual musician, though, right?
I play the real guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, I'm just a fake.
Not wonderfully well, but good enough.
Have you tried? Isn't Rocksmith the one where you can actually plug in a real guitar and almost really learn how to do it?
It was bought release date, and I've At the moment, my Steam copy of Rocksmith 2014 has about 200 hours clocked in.
Holy shit! So you recommend it as a pretty decent tool or game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a must-have for next-gen consoles or a PC user, definitely.
Got you. I'm gonna add that to the list because.
As someone else who plays guitar, did you have the same? At least for me, because I don't read sheet music, so going from tabs to that, it was kind of weird because I only played it a little bit, but having it go vertically coming at you, it takes some time getting used to it. But it was a nice seeing the whole music genre go from like PS2 on Guitar Hero going up to where you can actually plug in your real guitar and learn. I like that progression. It takes getting used to, and it doesn't feel like a video game anymore. So I like the game.
With tabs, unless you pay for like a special membership to Ultimate Guitar or whatever tab reading website you can, you have the tab there and I can read it, but I don't get a sense of timing.
Yeah.
Because it's all on you. It's all on you to make up the timing and play along to the music. Whereas Rocksmith, it's a nice progression from people that are used to the vertical highway and just the 5-button setup to push them along to the next stage. I mean, Rock Band's...
Yeah, it worked well when they were competing with Rock Band.
Yeah. Like, Rock Band's pro setup is decent, but I need the feedback from playing a real thing, and I also need something with real strings and not plastic buttons.
Yeah.
So, Craig, did you get into the Fantasia game at all?
That's
that wasn't instrument based, right? I mean, I guess
it's gesture based. It's
okay.
You have to move your arms in time with the gestures on the screen, and then at certain points in the song, you punch in and switch up the mix to a different stem.
Got you.
So
it sounds like a strenuous exercise almost.
You kind of get out of breath after a few songs, yeah.
Especially if you live over in America where we like to eat more than most people should consume.
I know how you guys like to eat, and that's the dream. That's
I came over. I was over there 2013 for a football game out at Wembley or whatever, and it's amazing. You can just go downtown London and look. Everyone's in shape, and then you see the people wearing NFL jerseys, and they look like beached whales walking around. Like, well, the Americans are here. But you guys eat you guys eat some pretty hearty foods. I mean, shepherd's pie, that's not a diet food. It's just, I guess you guys don't eat pounds of it.
No, it's not a diet food if you smother it in cheese like most people do.
Good.
Doesn't everyone in England also drink like 4 dark beers a day at least or something like that?
That's a requirement.
Do, but not everyone. Not everyone.
Right. I just assumed everyone did, but...
Still, the most shocking thing to me is the tipping policies over there. You don't tip at a restaurant or a bar. That just blew me away.
It's not needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's polite to. And most.
They love me. Anytime I'd walk up to the bar, a bartender would come right to me. I'd be like, "Sweet, I have to go."
Oh yeah, if they're going to make money from you and get extra tips, obviously they're going to put you first.
Yeah, well, in America, it's expected. If you don't tip them, they won't even serve you. So it's just one of those
I found out about that. Actually, I was in the States in October, and I was warned prior to flying out that I have to tip literally everywhere.
Yep,
and I was just handing out dollar bills like they were going out of style.
Yeah, buddy.
Down in Arizona, they were talking about, because I don't think people tipped enough, and they were talking about making a law where they're actually going to start working the cost of the tip into the price of your meal at restaurants. And it's like, well, you're just raising the price of the fucking meal. Why would I want to? Yeah. I don't get that.
It is. I mean, I get why over there they pay their servers a real wage. I mean, they're not making $2 or $3 an hour like ours. But oh well, this isn't the tip podcast, so it was a nice little tangent though. I guess it's my go here, and I'm gonna go in the movie realm, and it's not a wish for a franchise to show up or a dream project I want. My wish for 2015 in movies is that Star Wars The Force Awakens doesn't even closely resemble the 3 piles of shit that George Lucas left us with in the prequel trilogy. Okay? I mean, I do love the guy. He is obviously a brilliant man. I mean, he will be remembered forever, but I don't know what he was smoking or who was blowing, oh, Dewey, yeah, George looks great. Oh, yeah, Jar Jar sounds like a good idea. Oh, yeah, fully CG worlds where everything looks so fake. That's awesome. Hayden Christensen, he's a great actor. Cast him as Anakin Skywalker. It just, I mean, I'm an 80s kid, born 1980, so I got to see Jedi in theaters. The old school trilogy, that's where I got my Star Wars love from, and I've collected the shit out of it. I've watched the shit out of it. But really, after those prequels, it's completely tarnished my love and fond memories of the franchise. And I'm really hoping that JJ can bring that back. And I have all faith that he can. I mean, just look at the teaser. It's very practical. You can already tell they're not... I mean, hell, that fucking droid is a practical effect. That wasn't CG. So I'm excited to see what he can do, what the team can do, and I can't wait for the next trailer to where we actually get some plot content versus, speculation of who's Kylo Ren, who's Andy Serkis playing, what's this black stormtrooper doing in the desert running for his life, blah, blah, blah. I really want to see... you know what I want to see? I want to see the fucking old people. Give me Grandpa Luke, give me drunk Leia, and give me broken leg Han, and I'll be good to go. So that's where I'm starting. I really want The Force Awakens, in my eyes at least, to rejuvenate the franchise and kind of bring me back around to it.
You know what that opening scene in the teaser, like you were talking about with the stormtrooper in the desert, that reminds me of Spaceballs, where they're combing the desert. Like, for whatever reason, it's just like stormtroopers in the desert. I'm like, where are the giant combs? Like
the big combs. I loved all the parody trailers that came off of The Force Awakens. The best still is the George Lucas edition, where it's just in the opening scene, you already have a bunch of fucking shitty looking dewbacks in there, and all these random stormtroopers were cropped in. Jabba the Hutt shows up in the one scene. So I don't know. Like I said, I think JJ. I mean, to me at least, obviously we all have our own opinions. I don't think the guy's really put out anything that has just sucked. So I got high hopes there.
It was still shocking seeing the trailer for the first time. It didn't look real. Seeing it with like current effects, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, okay, this is clearly someone with a lot of money that's a fan-made trailer, because it's so well polished and nowhere near even how Revenge of the Sith trailers looked. So I wonder how much is going to be CG again in this, or how much is even going to be spent on the story, or if it's all going to be flashy. But again, like you said, J.J. Abrams never really disappoints. So
yeah, most everything I've read, leaked, fact or otherwise, I mean, the actors are like, listen, a lot of the sets were legit. I mean, there was stuff for us to sit there and act off of versus just being in big green rooms or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you need CG. I think it allows filmmakers to do great things, but it just... does anyone here like the prequels, I guess?
I like
or am
Revenge
I just
of the Sith, but besides that, that's it.
I've honestly never seen the prequels. I've only seen the original 3.
Good, don't do it.
Yeah,
and
that's
honestly,
that's what everyone tells me. Like, I saw the previews for, I was like, oh, maybe I'll go see them, and I never got around to it.
You're missing. You would get more out of the prequel era if you just watched the Clone Wars cartoon than watching those pieces of shit.
Yeah, because everyone I talked to that did see it was like, they're terrible. Don't watch them. Like, and I was just all right, and I just never did.
Darth Vader is a whiny bitch. I mean, that's what I see when he storms through the Rebel blockade runner in Episode 4. I'm like, oh, that's that whiny ass bitch with long curly hair.
How
about you, Craig? Are you into Star Wars at all, or?
I've watched the original 3. I enjoyed them, but it's been so long since I've watched them that I don't remember much from them. I think I've seen 2 of the prequels, and I just remember Jar Jar Binks from it, and that is one of the worst.
Misa.
Oh no! Stop. He's probably one of the worst things about the prequels.
It was a bummer, and I'm not gonna lie. When I was 19 when Phantom Menace came out, I was jacked. Obviously, I was like, oh shit, I'm finally gonna get to see new Star Wars movies. And I think I went to Phantom Menace 10 times, thinking that it must have been good. But then I got wise, and now, like I said, I can't even look at the box art. It just makes me want to puke. And even the original trilogy, he's fucked up so bad beyond repair that unless you have the VHS version, or there was a DVD release, I think around 2000 or mid 2000s, that has the original with the special edition on there, they're not even worth watching anymore. So, I mean, he took one of the greatest scenes in Jedi where Vader finally realizes that he's been a fucking idiot and that he's watching his son get killed, and he finally decides to do the right thing, and now they sprinkled in a no like at the end of Sith, and it just cheeses it up.
For Nick, who hasn't seen the prequels yet, if you have a chance or you're reading books, go get the books of the prequels. Like, I have the first print of all three of them, and they're actually really good. You don't have to deal with any of the cheesy actors and all that. Those are solid if you want to avoid terrible Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. All right, I might have to take advantage of that.
Yeah. There's a book too. I forget. I think it's called like Rise of Lord Vader or something. It's supposed to take place almost right after he succumbs. That's good too. Yeah, I'd give David that. I mean, the books, you can eliminate the crappy acting, the crappy dialogue, and all that, and just kind of dream up stuff on your own.
Is Jar Jar in the books?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, he is. and you can voice him yourself. So
no, see, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to read the books, and that
you're
voice
hear him.
because that's really really when I think of the prequels, that's the only thing that stands out to me.
Just give him a thick
that
German
stupid
accent
voice.
when you read it.
maybe like Australian.
I
Give him an Australian
good
accent.
stuff.
I like Australian accents. Maybe I'll do that.
So far we've done some gaming. We've done a movie. Who wants to shoot out another wish of theirs? Go. Floor's open.
On the music side of things, for anyone who listens to heavier stuff, Seven Dust put out Time Travelers and Bonfires in 2014, which was a bunch of acoustic covers that they already did on another album, which I didn't understand. Like 3 or 4 new songs and a bunch, again, remakes. And I was hoping, it's been 2-3 years now since Blackout the Sun, seeing them live on that tour. So hopefully by the end of this year, we get something new from them. Personally,
There you go.
Yeah, I know they're
A little
in and out of studios.
Music's
but
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, and along with the music too, I'm excited for the new Modest Mouse album that's supposed to come out in March. I don't know if anyone listens to them at all, but they haven't had a new album in like 7 years. They're constantly
They're already.
Yeah, them. They're constantly saying like, "Oh yeah, we're in the studio. Yeah, we're working on
Isn't there
this."
30 band members or some crazy shit like that in that group?
No, not in them.
I make shit up. I mean, that's what we do. It's the internet.
Jumping on Wiki.
But like
right now.
they just take so long to get an album out that it just people are salivating for it. So apparently March is the expected date for that. So I'm kind of excited for that to go along with the music aspect.
Anyone on here going all hipster and going to buy record players these days? Like it seems that the movement
You know
is
what?
headed towards.
I'll top you there. My parents gave me their record player that they received on their wedding day like 30 something years
Awesome.
ago.
Yeah.
So I've
like an old
I
like an
like
old
the
Yamaha or something.
No, it's a Lloyd's. So it's got
Does it have wood grain finish?
Yeah, it's wood grain.
Hell yeah.
It's got the record player, and then it also has like an AM/FM stereo and 2 like stand-up speakers. But I need to get a new needle for it because it's not working right. But
Yeah, my dad. I mean, I grew up solely listening to records. I mean, my dad probably had 40,000. I mean, just crates and crates full of them. So I do appreciate that sound.
yeah,
I just think it's kind of like, yeah, it's funny that it's gone full circle now. CDs sound great, and digital files sound even better. But now we want to go back to where things sounded like scratchy and muffled and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like all things. It just seems everything's cyclical these days, from style, hairstyles, clothing styles, you name it. Even video games. I mean, thanks to indies, look at the resurgence of pixel art and old school type of platformers, so on and so forth. So
yeah, for sure.
No. What was it? What was the Foo Fighter album? I can't remember, where they recorded it in their garage on tracks.
That was White's. What was it? It was the one. Wasting Light. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah. See that?
Yeah.
That was amazing to me. Seeing more artists do that would be great, because I mean, I like vinyl, but to go out and buy a vinyl when sound of a vinyl is definitely nicer in most cases than an actual CD. But when they just put a vinyl out and don't even spend much time on a cover or anything like that, it kind of feels like a waste, because they often upcharge you so much in a lot of places. But when you look at, if you heard Jack White, was it fucking Lazaretto? His out, he put, under the sticker, he put hidden songs that you can play if you play it in reverse, and like there's hidden
Right.
holograms of like an angel on it. I mean, it's worth
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
all
you
the
got to
money.
do that trippy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth all the money
Yeah,
if you
for
buy
sure.
it like that.
Yeah, and going back to the Foo Fighters, The Wasting Light, like I agree. Like they recorded that all analog in Dave Grohl's house, like in his garage.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just super cool. Like they just were like, you know what, we're gonna back up technology a little bit and do it the old way. And it sounded great. I'm pretty sure they wanted at least 1 or 2 Grammys for it. For
Sounds
that
like we
year.
got some audio files on here. So has anyone heard or looked into Neil Young's Pono player?
I have not. No.
No.
I mean, because he's the poster boy for this is how music should sound, and music these days in the studios, it's so digitized, you're losing all the feeling and character and whatnot. And I guess this Pono player will actually play music in its most purest form. I mean, he's all over it. And you got to respect Neil Young, obviously. So
What is
I was
it?
just curious for you guys. It's literally like it's almost like a MP3 player of sorts that does something to the music, or it requires a special file, and it just plays it in the most pure sound you're gonna hear. I mean, it's essentially if you were sitting in the studio when they recorded it.
Wonder if you have to have special headphones for that or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was on Stern before winter break talking about it, and he was out at CES last week promoting it, and it's been selling out. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think it's for like the more extreme audio files out there, but
Okay, I'll check it out.
yeah. Good deal. All right. Who's next? What do we got? So we got our music, we got our movies, we got some games. Any sports wishes out there? Maybe from Hershey?
I'm really wishing for North Carolina to win the college basketball championship, as I do every year.
I'm assuming you've already laid down your bet at the beginning of the season.
No, I actually didn't place any cookies on anything other than football. I didn't get that far. I want to see how the football season went before I decided to light more money on fire.
It really is, dude. The closer you get to the East Coast, the more of an asshole sports fan you are, but also the more degenerate gambler you become with sports. I mean, every one of my family members that lives in Philly gambles on something through every sports season, and it cracks me up. And like me, I'm just teasing, but I was at the national championship, got to see my school win, and people like Hershey, like, oh fuck, Oregon lost, or I got people. Family members like, damn it, everyone on the Ohio State bandwagon, blah blah blah.
Well, see, I just don't like Ohio State, so like I wanted them to lose at all costs. So I
get
like
it.
I kind of like
one
Oregon
likes a winner,
and like
man. I mean, no one likes a winner. That's my lot in life. I was lucky to be born in Pittsburgh, where they actually have decent sports teams, and I went to a school that fields a good football team.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have nothing to be negative about. Like you've had enough championships over, whatever the last 10, 15 years or longer
I'm the most negative Pittsburgh sports fan for my own teams, and I mean that's how I root on my team. I yell at them and I hate them.
Right.
Where it seems like sometimes Philly fans, they would rather hate the other people.
Well,
and hate their team.
As a Philly sports fan, until the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, there wasn't a championship since 1980. So like my entire life up until 2008, there was not a single championship in a major sport in
I am
Philadelphia.
spoiled. There's no doubt.
So,
I'm a very lucky guy. I mean,
so it's kind of easy
to
to be negative with a lack of trophies.
in my lifetime, the Steelers have been to 4 Super Bowls, won 2. One was in Detroit when I lived there, and I'm still kicking my ass for not buying a fucking ticket and going. I've seen the Buckeyes win 2 championships, and they've been to 4. I mean, it's just stuff some people don't get, so I'm definitely blessed there. So I guess I'll tag on my wish for sports is that the Buckeyes repeat and the Steelers don't give me a heart attack.
What's Urban Meyer going to do with 3 starting quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too heavy into sports, but it's a very interesting topic in Columbus today.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the undergrads, they have to declare, I think, by the end of tonight if they want to go to the league. So I don't think Cardale's not going to the league.
They were talking on ESPN that he technically can, and
no, he can, but I don't think he's going to go. I think Braxton's going to transfer, and I think Urban's going to tell Cardale he's the starter, and JT can try to beat him in camp. I don't know.
You really think Braxton transfers?
He has the easiest out. He doesn't have to sit out if he goes anywhere.
That's true.
So Yeah, there you go. I'll kind of lump a sports wish in there. I mean, I Braxton, great kid, but I don't feel like we need him anymore, and I honestly don't think we would be where we're at if he played this year. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's get to some cool geekies. Not this, I love sports, but I don't want to bore the rest of the casters here. So how about you, Craig? What's another wish you're looking for here in the land of geek?
Kind of a silent one, and probably one that won't happen, but I kind of want 4K TV to take off. Be a bit cheaper,
you know what?
and be more accessible to the masses.
The technology itself has come down in price, though, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd say they're getting pretty close to making, like, I don't know. I'd say like the standard size of a TV right now is 32 inches, and they're kind of bringing 4K 32-inch TVs down to this. It's still pricier, but it's not as it's not too pricey compared to the normal HD counterparts, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the market for a TV. I get bored with things quickly. I've had this 3D LED for probably 4 years now. It's an LG. It looks all right. I've always thought the picture was kind of crappy, so I'm glad you brought that up because I'm definitely going to put a serious effort towards some sort of 4K TV, hopefully 3D, hopefully curved. I think the curved displays are slick as hell.
I don't understand the fascination with curved TVs.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. It just looks fucking cool, so I'll go for it.
I get to stare at them all day, at work, and I don't get them either. Isn't it supposed to be like no glare if it's curved? But I haven't seen that.
I've heard everything from, I guess, movie screens are naturally convex like that, where it kind of bows out on the ends, or it's supposed to be better viewing angles. Who the hell knows? It just looks rad. But I think to Craig's point, I mean, the technology, the hardware's there. We need the content, right? I mean, are cable providers, satellite providers, movie providers, are they actually putting out a lot of 4K?
I've seen some YouTube people doing it.
Is that definitely a couple of people? Who is putting out 4K?
On YouTube, I've seen what is it? Frankie in 1080p. Frankie on PC in 1080p. He does like gaming videos. He's in Europe somewhere, I can't remember. He does a lot of stuff for Battlefield and DayZ and stuff, and he was in 4K.
All right, I've seen it on, again, YouTube, trailer channels like Joe Blow trailers, movie clips. Sometimes they'll do 4K versions, but again, that's all video on demand. I guess I'm looking for when we get like live feeds. When's it? NBC, ABC, Craig over here, that's like our local, our networks that put all the show, Shield and all that crap on. But when are they going to start pumping down 4K signals?
That's the thing. No one, like broadcasters over here, have really only just moved over to HD. And there's only a couple of channels that you can watch in HD. I don't think TV broadcasters are going to be up to 4K standards anytime soon.
Well, you got to think about the infrastructure required for it. I mean, you're basically pumping down 4 times the amount of data now. So,
not only would you need better equipment to stream the stuff in the first place, you'd need updated equipment where you're recording it. The people that are making the content need better equipment to do it, which is going to be incredibly expensive.
Yeah, it'll happen. I mean, it's funny to sit here now and look at our entertainment centers and just think even 5 years ago. I mean, at this point in time, I can record 8 different shows at once. Why do I need that? I don't, but I can do it, and I have that luxury. I mean, you can get pretty much anything you want now, video on demand, in a few short minutes, if that. So it's a matter of time. Here in America, our internet or broadband infrastructure is actually pretty shitty.
I literally haven't heard the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you have some sort of fiber package and you're paying a couple bucks for it.
Fiber optic, £10 a month, unlimited downloads.
What are your speeds then? What's your down and upload?
My average download is between 30 and 40 meg.
Okay.
And average upload is about 3. But usually when I start downloading stuff from Steam, it'll average 5 megabytes a second.
Yeah, for £10, which over here is probably going to be close to $20 a month. We wouldn't even have a package that cheap. Maybe for dial-up. Maybe for dial-up access.
Well, the big thing I've noticed is that there's no competition in America to do it.
Exactly.
There's
I mean,
no-
we're not supposed to have monopolies, but we have monopolies.
Exactly. There's very few companies that actually sell decent broadband or internet at all over in the States. So they don't compete off each other to get better service. Whereas over here we have 4 or 5 that can reach the entire British Isles. So they're all competing against each other, all trying to fight for the market share. So they're all bringing down their prices, increasing the amount of things they give you in those packages as well, which is kind of, it really does prove that competition can be very healthy, and that I don't ever want to really have to deal with American internet infrastructure at all.
Being told who you can use. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how where we live. That's dictates who we have to use.
Yeah, that's kind of unfair. Like, I can move to any part of the UK and be like, all right, I can use anyone, really.
Welcome to capitalism, my friend.
Isn't it a beautiful thing?
The joys. I mean, it has its upsides, but it has its downsides. So.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with you on the TV front, without a doubt. Definitely. And I still think I'm in the minority on 3D content, but I do like 3D content. If there's a 3D movie in theaters, I'm going to watch it in 3D. Even if it wasn't filmed in 3D, I'm still doing it.
Like, where 3D, when it does depth rather than throwing stuff out at you, that's when 3D's done well.
Yeah.
That is 3D that I
I'm
can
a big
appreciate.
fan of it, so. I hope they keep it up, though. I haven't seen many 4K that does 3D, or at least a passive 3D. Because, it's a little bit cheaper. You don't have to buy the plug-in charge glasses, but... Awesome. All right, I'm going to go. My turn! Pick me! This is going to be a gaming one, and this kind of stems from the whole issues with Halo MCC. And I'm wishing and hoping for a beautifully smooth Halo 5 Guardians launch.
I'm with you on that.
I'm sure, I'm assuming, maybe not Nick, I'm not sure about you, Craig. I don't know if you're more of a console or PC gamer, but I'm assuming you guys have at least touched the Halo 5 beta at this point.
I actually haven't.
No?
No, I need to.
I went down to... Go ahead, Joe.
No, I need to, but I just haven't had the time to get around to it at the moment.
I went down to the Best Buy when Anna was telling everyone about the event down there when they were doing the Halo 5 beta play, and there was almost no one there, so we were there for a good hour or so just playing away on a 4K TV that was like $10,000, and I loved it. The ADS was a little annoying, but other than that, I mean, it was perfect. It was smooth. I didn't have any issues with it.
Yeah,
So.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I know a bunch of people have got their panties in a bunch over that you can aim now, and if it's Call of Duty eyes, and that's a bunch of it's a bunch of shit.
They leveled
it's
it
still
out.
Halo. Yeah, it's still Halo, but everything has balance. Just because you can run all the time now doesn't mean that's you're cheating or you have an advantage. Your shields won't recharge if you're running. So if you want to run around all the time, have at it. I'll kill you easier. You can pretty much defend any of the thrusts. You can always the shoulder thrust. There's there's kind of a delay once you shoot one off. So if you miss, you're vulnerable. So I love the speed of it now. I love the mantling up to higher locations, and really even the aiming. I still find myself doing the traditional Halo hip firing.
Yeah.
But it's nice that if you need to kind of focus on a distance target, you have that option now with all weapons.
I like that they took the suitabilities and just made it permanent. Now you don't have to worry about picking shit up.
Yeah, you don't have to fuck around with loadouts and that crap.
It takes more to
so
get used to, though, because, come from, like, say, Halo 2 when it's real simple controls. And I kept having the rep that they had there. I kept asking him, okay, how do I do so-and-so power? And he's like, oh, well, you have to stop in midair, then aim. And then if you hold so-and-so button while you're meleeing, you can do a charge. It takes a little getting used to, so I guess
the ground pound, once you land one, it's well worth the kind of cumbersome way to kick one off. And this is where you have to be on a ledge, jump, and then you hold, I think, your right thumbstick in, and it'll put up a targeting reticle on the ground, and you let go, and it's an insta-kill. I mean, full shields or not, the dude's dead, so... I liked it when I played it out in New York at a special event. I thought it was a blast. Real big fan of the new Breakout multiplayer mode. But I've always been a huge fan of Halo lore, the campaigns. I like all the Halo books. I really like what 343 started in Halo 4 with the Forerunner saga. I'm a geek. I like all this made up fake science fiction shit. I don't need real life. I can go turn on the news and see people getting murdered and raped and people getting shot and kids getting killed. But for my entertainment, I want to kind of be imaginative, creative. I want to go to a different place. So I really like what they did in Halo 4 with the didact and kind of drawing ties to how the Chief may have ties to the Forerunners, this, that, and the other thing, and who knows where Cortana is. I mean, is she really gone? So and what's this Agent Carter doing? If you've watched the Halo 2 anniversary, the intro cinematic, it's a brand new one. There's kind of a flash forward, if you will, where Carter meets with the Arbiter, basically asking him where is the Spartan, and that is John 117. So I want to see what's going to go on for the Chief in Halo 5. Some people are saying he's going to get killed, and Carter's going to be the new Spartan. I think if that happens, I'm going to fucking hate the series, but whatever.
Definitely. Have you read any of the original trilogy of books, Halo books?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
From Eric or whatever, Nyland.
Yeah, I don't remember who did it, but I think from Halo 4 and now into 5, I think it's gonna be worth checking those out for those people who haven't read them, because you figure out how Master Chief came along from when he was a kid and they kidnapped him basically and all that shit. And when you're playing, and I think it was in Halo 4 when they're talking to her and she's like, you kidnapped him and you did all that shit to him. How can you not feel bad? I mean, he's practically dead inside this suit. You can't expect all his bones not to be broken and then like re-healed. He's practically a dead man anyway. So, I mean, I don't know if I'd be too upset if they killed him off in Halo 5 just to give him, some peace. As long as they do it in a way that's not just, total BS, just to shove in a new character.
Right.
No, that's just me.
Going with the books, there's also the whole Forerunner saga, which talks about the didact and why he hates humans and all. I mean, they touch on it in Halo 4 and some of the terminals and cutscenes.
Which ones did they come in on the books? Which books did the Forerunners come in on? I didn't get that far.
It's literally called the Forerunner Saga. There's 3 different books. Kathleen Kennedy, I think, wrote them. No, that's the girl doing Lucasfilm. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But just look up the Forerunner Saga books. It's a real thing for sure.
Did they do comic books for 4 and 5? I thought they did.
We would need our resident guru,
I was thinking
Justin
the same thing. Yeah.
Beethoven von Ludwig, to get that one down. So. But yeah, that's me for game. I do not want Halo 5 to be another disappointment, because I think 343 it's a great studio. There's a lot of good people there, and they dropped the ball. I'm not kind of writing them a hall pass here, but the Halo franchise does not need to go out in a bad taste with the Master Chief Collection that everyone's feeling right now. So, okay, that's me. Anyone else want to throw another one out there?
I'm going to throw one from Microsoft. Again, not hating on them. I'm not biased to any console, but I hope that in 2015, because console issues aren't going to stop. Wi-Fi is going to go out. So-and-so, internet terrorist group is going to hack Sony and then take, claim for it 2 months later, whatever hell. Lizard group, Turtle group, whatever one's going to come up in 2015. But I hope that Microsoft starts paying their gamers back the way Sony does, where when Sony got hacked or get shut down, they'll be like, here's, pick your choice of 2 free games out of 5. And when Microsoft goes down, they're like, oh, that's a bummer, kid. Good luck with that.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You didn't have games for 3 days, but yeah, that sucks. Sony was like, oh, here's your money back on the time that you didn't have internet. And I think they gave some other little bonus for that, but Microsoft barely even acknowledges it. In fact, I went on their website during the Christmas Eve day, and then I don't know if it was after Christmas, off after Christmas as well, but they technically said that it was up and running, but then you go through the list, and at the bottom it shows, oh, so-and-so is not working, but at the top of the page, oh, up and running.
Yeah. All the core services needed to play games weren't working, but Xbox Live was running. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all that shit. I mean, I really don't want to say anything about hackers because I don't want to get attacked. I mean, do what you got to do. But, I mean, ultimately, they said they did that just to show how weak security is at these companies that are making billions of dollars off of us are. Yeah. And they have all our information and all of our entertainment, and they just don't invest in security, the proper security. I mean, a DDoS, a distributed denial service attack, isn't anything like super CIA or National Intelligence Agency. It's basically they just get a bunch of hosts to spam Microsoft servers, and all that junk traffic gets in, and the machine physically can't take it, and they will shut down. And that's why you couldn't play your games on Christmas on both ends. So, I mean, the hackers definitely expose some major concerns for these companies, and we just got to hope that they actually take it to heart and try to patch this crap and get ready for the next one.
I mean, take some credit for it. I mean, it's not exactly their fault that they get hacked, but taking some credit for it, showing a little bit more understanding to the gamers. Hey, we're sorry so-and-so happened, but let's try to get this on track. We are taking a look at it. Here's what we can do for you in the meantime. Give them some assurance, because that's what Sony does. I just don't feel like Microsoft's up to it at the moment. Not like they're getting hit any less; they're getting hit just as much.
Yeah, whatever, you Sony fanboy.
I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, we're consumers. We do have some rights. Speaking to Benson's and other people in the UK, Craig, you can probably talk to this, but it feels like you guys have more rights as consumers over there than we do, as far as if you got a shady product, getting your money back without getting put through a hassle.
Oh yeah, that's kind of standard practice over here. Is if you get shortchanged or the product doesn't work or you get cheated, usually return policy is really simple.
Yeah.
Even with unwanted Christmas gifts, they let you return those if you still have the receipt. So, but yeah, I'd probably say it's a lot fairer over here than it is over in the States. Like, I think one of my friends purchased a game from GameStop a while back, and literally tried to return it the next day, and they just didn't have any of it.
Oh yeah, there's no shot in hell. If you take the wrapper off a game, you're done. I mean, it's you might as well, you're only going to get the used price for it, if that.
I'm pretty sure over here, even if the wrapper's taken off, if the game's still in perfect condition, they'll still let you return it.
Yeah, no shot in hell. You guys, I mean, Nick or David, have you ever had a case where you went in with an open game and got full money?
I went in with Master Chief, and there I got a new, and because I wasn't going to wait for the multiplayer to get fixed, but I went in and they were like, "Oh no, you got that new. You can't bring that back." They gave me like $35-$40 for it. I was like, oh fuck it. I went and got Inquisition with that. But speaking on that return,
how's that going?
Inquisition.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to devote as much time as I would like to it, but I'm getting there.
Got it.
But on the return side of things, in Australia with Steam returns, they've made it. I think it's only in Australia at this point. Last time I checked, but if you get a Steam game, like I'm not sure exactly which ones it pertains to, but if you get a Steam game and it's just totally broken, it doesn't work, I think they give them like a week or something to get their money back. Something like that here in the States in 2015 would be nice, when you have these games that, like when they give you freaking, it's not an amazing example, but when you get like Grand Theft Auto for a PC and it's just totally buggy, if you get something like that from Steam and you spend just as much money on a game that you really don't have too much assurance on, it'd be nice if there was a return policy for that here in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a curious thing to think about. It is the digitization of content and how we consume it now versus traditional go to brick and mortar stores and buy tangible objects that we can hold and touch. I think we talked about this last time, how we like keeping our game cases, and we remember when there used to be booklets and games and all that fun stuff.
I still have all of them.
Obviously, yeah, things are going to transition to full digital. I mean, it's inevitable because it saves these companies a ton of cash. I mean, you can eliminate whole channels of distribution if you go full digital. But as a consumer, if you get a crappy digital product, how do you return that? I mean, how does the company? I mean, I'm sure they can do some sort of DRM or security to know that you didn't burn it and you run it on another machine. But I mean, that's and the aftermarket. I mean, with digital, there's really no way to recoup any used dollars from games you buy or movies. So that's one reason I've avoided going, just loading up iTunes movies versus buying Blu-rays and crap like that.
There's quite a few other bad points about digital as well. That's kind of kept me away from just going full digital. Like, I like having the item in my hand, and at the same time, they have the right just to literally make that content disappear digitally as well. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way.
I really like having my collection of game cases lined up because I know they're there. Then I know that if I pop them in my console, I can still play them. I don't like thinking about logging onto Steam and suddenly seeing a couple of my games disappearing.
Shit, now you got me all nervous. I'm about to fire up my library and make sure there's still 58 games I'll never play in there.
I jump on
Dude,
sometimes.
I got snaked by the Star Wars sale. I had to do it. The 2014 Star Wars bundle was like $65 for 14 old Star Wars games. I'm such a sap.
You've got way more games on there than me, Matt, but do you ever like get on there and it's saying, oh, downloading so-and-so, and you're like, I don't even remember getting that.
Yeah, you're like, when the hell was I drunk when I bought that one? Damn it, I got to delete Steam off my iPad now. It makes it too easy when you can like just touch screen it. But those Steam sales, they literally are crack. I mean, it's like you cannot help yourself buy a game, at least one game during a Steam sale. I got SimCity 4 and I got the Star Wars bundle over the winter. I mean, will I ever play those Star Wars games? Probably not a chance in hell. Will I play SimCity 4? Maybe next December when I have some time. But it's just, it's like the sticker is just like, oh, it's cheap, click, go.
You see the Grand Theft Auto bundle for £10, you're like, I have to have it.
Yeah.
I played Grand Theft Auto 4 for all of 5 minutes. That is it.
Dude, I think it was the summer sales the first time I mean, I just got a PC last summer that I could game on. So I was just in time for the Steam summer sale, and I got that exact pack. I'm like, oh, fucking GTA 4, 2, 3, San Andreas, they're 99 cents. Sure, I'll load them up, but I haven't even installed them yet. I mean, they're just sitting there in my library doing nothing. I just got around to playing Civ 5 for the first time over the break, and that game came out in 2010. So
that was 2010.
I'm almost positive Civ 5 was 2010 when it first came out.
That seems way.
It doesn't seem like a long time ago. Then Beyond Earth. I mean, I've been playing Beyond Earth too, and I know some people shit on it. Nick Horry, who reviewed it for us, didn't like it that much. He didn't hate it, but thought it was kind of a lot of retread from the older games. But I mean, it's still Civ. I mean, right now I'm not playing it, but I have a 12-hour match going. And I look forward to going back to it and just making moves here or there.
It can be rehashed junk, but it's still strategic crack cocaine.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I don't know what it is, and that whole one more turn thing is fucking real. It is real. I've done things where like one more turn, an hour later. One more turn, an hour later. One more. Ooh, but I'm mounting this offensive on this Civ, and I just need a couple more turns to get my units right. And blah blah. This wonder's gonna be built soon. I want to watch it. It's just I love RTSs, and I wish I played them more often than I did. Some of my favorites were the older Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. It's fucking fantastic. I don't know if anyone's ever played that. Empire at War is pretty good too. Those are more unit building versus a Civ game where it's kind of everything, but those are always fun. The old StarCraft days, that type of stuff.
Age of Empires.
Oh yeah, well that's another one. I literally had to pull my click finger back during the winter sale because they were doing the Age of Empires 2 HD for I think it was like $3.99 or something. I was like, I know I'll never play it, so I'm not gonna buy it.
But it's an HD.
Yeah, fuck! Load up Steam now, damn it! Oh no, it's $14 again. All right, cool. Hershey, you got any wishes to add to our list here that's growing?
I don't know, it's not so much a wish, but there's I was looking through the movie releases coming out 2015 earlier, and just kind of mentally counting all the ones that like I want to see that. So I guess my wish would be that I actually follow through and see the ones that I really want to see. So I mean, like Avengers, obviously, and like I'm a.
Hold on, dude. Sorry to step on you here. I gotta bring this up.
All right.
Just to show you how intoxicating it is to watch a national championship in person, especially if it's your alma mater. I have not seen the new Avengers trailer yet. To this day, I haven't seen it. I didn't even look yesterday. I watched the same fucking sports show 5 times. It was just on repeat.
Yeah.
It was just talking heads talking about how great the Buckeyes were, and I'm like, just like, but I have not watched it yet, and that really depresses me. The more
I was watching the game, and that came on like one of the first commercial breaks. And I immediately texted Justin. I was like, did you see the new Avengers trailer? He's like, no, I turned over to something else. He's like, crap, like I missed it. So like I just quick went online and like did a post for the website so like we would have something up like right away.
Oh yeah, that was money, by the way. Good movie.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that movie, and like I'm a sucker for like the Fast and the Furious movies. And and Furious 7 comes out and it's like Paul Walker's last movie, like I don't care if they made like 20 of them. I'll still watch them. Like I don't care how ridiculous it is. Like I'm a sucker for those movies. Like, every time they're on TV, I'm watching them.
Fast 6 was so fucking stupid. Some of those action moments, you're just going, "What the?"
Well,
fuck
and then you have The Rock wearing a shirt that's like 10 sizes too small, like fighting Vin Diesel. Like, I mean,
he could eat Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. Like the stuff it just gets more and more ridiculous every one, but yet like I love the cars, and I know going in that it's ridiculous, but like I'm still gonna watch it anyway.
Nothing beats. What'd he do? They jumped cars off a bridge. He jumped off his car and grabbed a girl midair and landed in another car or something like that.
Right, yeah. and then there was also the tank chasing him on the road.
They're the fucking Justice League. Or something.
Somehow the tank is going as fast as the cars. You know.
Yeah, tank's doing like 90.
It's that new Ferrari tank.
Yeah,
I would definitely take a tank.
Yeah, it's German engineering at its finest. But
if I had my choice of vehicles, it would be an M1 Abrams. I park it out front. Never have to wait in traffic. Just run over people, back into buildings.
You know it's his because it has the Buckeye logo on the back.
Hell yeah! I'll paint it. I'll paint it scarlet and gray like a helmet. For every car I run over, I'll get a helmet sticker.
Yeah, get a sticker. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm demented.
But yeah, between movies and there's a bunch of new TV shows coming out this year that I want to try and get into as well. And you'll be happy to know, Matt, I watched the first season of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I did catch up. It was good.
Starts a little slow because you got to develop new characters, but then once you hit the part, and we won't get spoilery, but once you hit where it kind of timed with the Winter Soldier,
right,
it really kind of picks up.
Right,
and this season's been pretty fantastic too. Craig, you into like the superhero movies at all, or S.H.I.E.L.D. or any of that stuff?
Avengers, definitely. Iron Man, huge fan of that. But outside of that, I really haven't watched anything else. And I haven't seen the new Avengers trailer yet.
It's funny when you think about it. The whole reason for Marvel's success was their gamble on Iron Man.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that was like the first Marvel studio movie, because before that, Sony owned some shit, and I think Fox owned some rights.
Yeah, because Sony did the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, right?
Yeah. And I think it's either Sony or Fox. They own Fantastic Four, and Marvel was when they finally got some of the rights back, because at one point in time Marvel was almost dead.
Yeah,
I mean it was going into the toilet, and through Kevin Feige and these guys that came up with the cinematic universe, and I still remember this day, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're doing Iron Man," and I was like, "Why the fuck would you do Iron Man of all Marvel characters?
And why would you have Robert Downey Jr. do it? Like,
but now you look at it, and you're like, how could you not? Do Iron
exactly.
Man?
Like, I couldn't picture anyone else doing it.
He's the linchpin of Marvel Phase 1. He's going to be a linchpin in Phase 2, and he'll probably be there again in Phase 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm with you there, Craig. I mean, even when you go back and watch Iron Man, it's just like, this is just fucking awesome. I mean, it's like a rock concert. And RDJ is just a badass.
Yeah, Justin and I were talking about Ant-Man. We're not too sure how that's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm with you. When I saw finally the human-sized teaser, I was like, eh.
Like it's a character not many people know about, so like that's kind of like it's not like it's recognizable like Spider-Man or Iron Man, so it'll be kind of interesting. And it's like Paul Rudd's a great comedic actor, but how is he in a superhero role?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Scott guy is he a smart ass type of character? Hank, is Mike Douglas a good Hank Pym? I mean,
yeah.
I have very limited knowledge on Ant-Man, but let's face it, it's a superhero movie. I'm gonna go see.
Yeah,
it.
It's Marvel. Like I figure at this point they probably know what they're doing.
Yeah, it's nothing serious or anything. Although, I did break my rule about going to see serious movies in the theater, and I'm glad I did when I went and saw The Imitation Game starring Benedict Cumberbatch. That is just a fantastic movie, man. Fantastic. Craig I don't know if Alan Turing is he's probably he's probably bigger in UK now that the Queen has finally pardoned him for being gay and all this fun stuff, but it was just a great movie. I mean, if you're into like cryptography or computer, the guy invented computers essentially, and no one really knew about it because he was gay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. Back then in the UK, it was a crime to like boys, and they put him on hormone therapy to try to cure him, and he killed himself.
That's what that movie's about?
Yeah.
I did not keep up with that. You gotta check that out.
Alan Turing literally is the father of modern computers and artificial intelligence. He's the guy that basically cracked the Enigma machine from the Nazis. They said without Turing figuring out being able to decrypt their codes, he saved 14 million lives and shaved about 2 years off the war.
Oh.
Because up until then, no one could break the Enigma machine.
And yet he was ostracized, forced into therapy, and then eventually suicide.
Yeah. It's a good story. It's a really good movie. Benedict Cumberbatch just freaking kills it. It's well worth watching. If you're into World War II stuff, or in like I said, early computing technology, cryptography, well worth going to see. But yeah, the poor dude didn't get credit for anything because of his sexual preference. But it was a much different time back then, as we well know.
He would be very happy with the way England is now, but it's just
a
shame how things were dealt with back then.
The whole way it went down, it was basically like a witch hunt. Like this one detective got a boner for him, and just he thought he was a Russian spy because they couldn't account for his time during World War II. They're like, what the fuck was this brilliant mathematician doing for these 2 or 3 years? Because obviously he worked on that project, and MI6 said, okay, fucking burn everything, and you never had anything to do with it. But it's a very good movie. Very good movie. I'm also planning to go see American Sniper too, even though that's a serious flick. So.
Was it playing in any theaters near you?
It will Friday,
16.
but I didn't get any of the early screenings. Yeah. So, but I typically, if I'm going to the theater and ponying up the cash, I save it for big budget effects, sound, all that crazy stuff. So.
Real quick question, because I haven't been keeping up with it. Batman versus Superman, is that supposed to be 2016 or 2015?
All right, here we go. That will lead into another one of my wishes. Okay. So I'm assuming, thanks for the segue there, David. I'm assuming you may be referencing, I don't know if you checked out the rumor I put up last week, but supposedly someone screened the teaser that's supposed to show potentially with Jupiter Ascending in February. And apparently there may be 2 films now.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's going to be Batman v Superman Enter the Night, and then Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice.
Well, didn't Henry Cavill come out and say, like, no, it's not going to be 2? But, I don't know that he's the one to make that decision.
Yeah, honestly, dude, this weekend I just kind of completely dropped off the face of geekdom and only focused my full efforts towards supporting the Buckeyes. I don't know. I obviously I could not be a fat piece of shit and just do a Google search right now, but I don't feel like it. So honestly, that would be my wish. This is just kind of mystical stuff here, but I would prefer it to be 2 films because, quite frankly, if you read everything that's going into it, all the characters are going to introduce, I just think one long movie is going to fuck up DC's momentum here. Obviously they want to be Marvel. They want to have a huge cinematic universe. They want to bring more characters into the fold. But as of right now, you got Superman, you got Batman, you got Wonder Woman, you got Cyborg, you got Aquaman, you got Lex Luthor. How are you going to do that justice in one film? And really the subtitles, Enter the Night, awesome. set up Batman and Superman's relationship, maybe tease Wonder Woman. And then Dawn of Justice, this is where they are like, oh, yeah, fuck, we need to be the Justice League. So my wish is that rumor comes true, that there are now 2 Batman v Supermans versus 1. And if it does come true, supposedly the first one will come out this fall, actually, instead of 2016.
Well,
Okay,
I just Googled it for you, and apparently that was just a rumor. It's still, at this point, expected to be 1 film.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I just looked up too.
Yeah. Who knows, though? I mean...
Like I said, it's our wish list, buddy.
Yeah.
We can wish forever the fuck we want, and that's what I'm going to send my energy out there in the universe for. Give me 2 Batman versus Supermans.
I mean, was it a series? Was the comic book a series between the 2 of them, or was it just 1 issue?
Here's the deal, and again, Justin is the all-knowing, but they've came out and said it's not based on The Dark Knight Returns, even though it's sort of like The Dark Knight Returns, and in that, essentially, Batman and Superman, they know each other, so I don't think it's going to be like that, but they definitely have some beef with each other. If you've followed the 2, Batman always kind of is sketchy of Superman because, I mean, he's a god that really can't be beaten,
Mm-hmm.
and Batman, he's Mr. Detective, always wants to have the edge over everybody, and I think that's what they're going to play into. Basically, Bruce Wayne looks at the news and sees that this alien just fucking destroyed Metropolis for jillions of dollars, and he's gonna go check this shit out. Like, this guy's dangerous to all of humanity. He's not a protector of anything. So I don't know. I like Snyder. I did not like Man of Steel the first time I saw it, but then I watched it 8 more times, and I actually really enjoy it. So I'm hoping for a solid movie, even if it's double or just a single flip.
Sad thing, I won tickets when Man of Steel first came out. I won tickets to go see like this premiere thing before it actually came out, and I got it. I was first in line at the showing for this concert I was at in Phoenix, and I was leaving the next day, and the showing was the day after that, and I had to be back to work, so I couldn't stay that 1 extra day. So I had to give up the ticket to some dude in line.
Bummer. Yeah, so, all right. Any other ones as we slowly wrap this 2015 super duper marvelous Terminator T800 edition podcast up?
I've got one more.
All right, Craig.
So, I'm kind of also a large Muse fan, and they're in the studio right now making their 7th album, and my wish is just that it's good. That's...
Sorry, what...
Muse.
I saw them in concert 2 years ago. They were phenomenal.
I'm with you. And again, this goes back to your first wish with the whole rhythm music genre.
Oh, but don't even get me
I
started on that, because I will just go on a rant for hours.
The whole reason I know about Muse is because of Knights of Sidonia on, I think it was a Guitar Hero 2 or 3. It's like one of the harder tracks, and man, that thing is just a riff. And then I bought the whole album, was it Black Holes and Revelations or whatever? And pretty much that whole album is just you start it and let it run. I like the one single they had recently. It's pretty good.
Which one's that?
I don't think that... I don't know. It would have been like the radio hit from their last album.
That's probably Madness.
Yeah.
Madness. Yeah, they're Madness. But I don't think the whole album was that great, right?
Well, that's the thing. They entered and did this kind of... Their first album was good, but they kind of built up and got much, much better as they went on. Kind of peaked in Absolution and Black Holes and Revelations, and they've been on a downhill slide ever since. Like, the last album wasn't bad, and you can tell they were having fun with it, but it was way too electronic compared to what they're used to doing.
Got it. Yeah, man. I mean that some of those guitar riffs in Knights of Sidonia, or really any of the Black Holes and Revelations, are just fantastic.
They really are. They are fantastic, but they.
I can get behind that wish. I'll make a donation at my local Salvation Army for that.
They've promised that they'll go back to their old sound.
Yeah, the singer. Singer's got a great voice. I mean, I don't know. I'm with it. I do like that band for sure. So let's hope for Black Holes.
Matt, I don't know if you like concerts or not, but if you get a chance to see them, even if you're not a huge Muse fan, it's a concert worth going to for sure.
They know how to put on a live show.
Got you.
And they don't, like, I've been to concerts where the lead singer will stand there and talk for 5 minutes about something and then play a song and then talk for another 5. Like, these guys just play. Like they just go on stage, they have a great stage, great like they always do like laser lights and stuff like that. Like it was just phenomenal. So
I'm a huge. I
right.
love concerts. Just living in Columbus, we don't have a good venue. We don't. I mean, my dude back in the day, I probably saw Dave Matthews Band 500 times. I mean, I've seen him in stadiums. I've seen him in small venues. I've seen him just with Tim Reynolds. I've seen him acoustically, but he doesn't come here anymore, so I haven't gotten any concerts. Probably the most recent one I went to was when Roger Waters did the Wall Tour in 2010, and that was fucking epic. I mean, I've loved Pink Floyd since I was a little kid, so to get to see them perform the Wall live was just epic. But yeah, I'm down. I'll look. Maybe Muse will be.
I think they were. I might be getting them confused with another band, but I think they were offering some tour dates, but I'm not positive.
They are playing Download
Okay.
Festival over here in June, and I need
always
to go.
wanted to go to that. Damn it.
I went back in 2012, I think. Yeah, 2012 was pretty awesome. So I want to go again.
Has anyone ever got? I mean, I guess those living in the States, but Coachella and that.
Yeah,
that's
On the other side of the
I've
country
never-
for me.
Yeah, I've never been to them, but I had a friend who went. It was like he said it was like he saw Rage Against the Machine, and like that would have been awesome. Like I was so jealous of them, but
They still do Lollapalooza.
yeah, and actually Bonnaroo's another one that they just like today announced their lineup for Bonnaroo down in Tennessee.
Oh, see, I would have loved to have done that many years ago when I didn't have as many responsibilities, because I heard that's just nothing but a, you show up with a tent and you
basically,
leave.
yeah.
and you're like a different person. Like you go through some spiritual shit. I don't know what they're eating over there or what they're taking, but it definitely sounds hippie.
Warp
as
Tour is
hell.
also solid if you ever get a chance to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hot out here in Phoenix going to that.
Well, after going to the national championship game, I pretty much pissed away my luxury budget for the next 3 years.
I'm sure it was
so
worth it.
I don't know. Oh, it was well worth it, but it was a lot of fucking money for 48 hours of fun. So, all right, David or Nick, you got any final wishes?
Hopefully, I don't turn out as broke as I'm planning on being within the next 3 months worth of games that I'm going to have to buy.
What's the first one coming up? It's got to be a February release, probably.
I mean, late January. I'm considering getting the new redo of Resident Evil. Otherwise, come February is going to be Evolve first out of the bat. That's February 10th.
Yeah, I keep getting emails about the open beta starts now, or
It's today, technically today for me, but 15th of January, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
it's anyone can grab it, right? I mean, is it just going to be in the marketplace?
Completely open to everyone.
Right. So if you have Xbox One, you can start checking out Evolve, and I think they're offering a main part of the game, right? I mean, it's.
I don't actually know. I just saw the email and Evolve.
Did anyone here? I mean, not that we can talk about it because it was NDA'd, but did anyone participate in the PS4 stress test for Evolve this past weekend?
No.
All right. Yeah, I got the invite, but I was in Tejas, so I didn't get to check it out. Not that I could say anything about it, because you had to sign all sorts of shit for it. Yeah, I mean, Evolve, down with that. I mean, I remember playing the first time at PAX East, so I hope it doesn't go the way of Titanfall.
I was saying the same thing, yeah, because it's isn't there supposed to be like some single player with just bots, or am I wrong?
I mean, they're calling it a story mode, but it is kind of like Titanfall story mode, where you just basically play different objectives and work your way throughout the map.
Also, Mirror's Edge, whenever they decide to put out a release date for that.
I hate that EA decided to just go down the whole route of it'll be ready when it's ready kind of thing, and then they literally haven't said anything about it since.
They're doing the same thing with Battlefront. I mean, I want the new Star Wars Battlefront, but they haven't said dick. I mean, last year at E3, they showed, hey, we went to where they filmed Endor, and we took some pictures and scans and stuff. It's like, all right. Yeah, I'm with you. Order. I'm looking for. I really think the Order is going to be a fun game. I mean, I played at E3. I kind of like its Gears of War roots. I like that steampunk Victorian visual style it has. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as the early months of gaming. Now, obviously, I'll be at PAX South next Thursday already. That's the first ever down in San Antonio. So hopefully I'll get to check out some pretty rad new indie games because that's really what
Just
PAX
can't
is
get
all
enough of
about.
Texas, can you?
Dude, the traveling's ridiculous. And then, I mean, PAX East is only maybe 6 weeks away. And then it's going to be E3, and then it's going to be PAX Prime again, and the cycle continues.
I've got 1 month before I'm out there in Austin, closer to all that fun stuff. Yep.
Are you moving to Austin? Yeah, that's the place to be, man. That is the place to be, especially if you're in the gaming and the industry in general. Lots of publishers and developers showing up.
78 gaming companies last time I checked.
Wow.
Yeah. So hopefully the weather's better it was than this weekend in North
Oh, yeah.
Texas because it was fucking cold.
It's like 70 outside now here.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
You're in Arizona? Yeah, nice. It's about fucking 8
Yeah,
degrees
same
where I'm
here.
at. I'm sure, yeah, Hershey's in the fall too, and then Craig, they're always kind of chilly, but...
Yeah, well, at least it's not raining. Anyone in the like mid-east area of the US?
I'm Midwest. I'm in Ohio, so...
Anyone near North Carolina, Virginia?
Never.
Yeah, I'm north of those, but
You're north of those. Okay, what's the weather like over there at the moment?
well, in eastern PA, it's really, really cold and gross. But it's usually a little warmer down in the Carolinas.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'd say this time of year, it could probably get as low as the 40s maybe, but you're not going to get a lot of freezing.
There's
or
the
snow
rare
or
occasion
anything
they
like that
get snow down there, but not very often at all.
I'm going to be at MagFest next week, flying out tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have some extra coverage for EB there, but...
Are they doing it in Baltimore this year, or they're doing it in North Carolina, it sounds like?
MagFest is still in Washington.
Okay.
Well, National Harbor anyway, but they've got loads of different other events going on around the US by the looks of it.
And that's a big kind of I mean, I know gaming's been sprinkled into it, but wasn't like music's pretty heavily involved.
Music's the heavy influence here, but there's tons of gaming stuff. It's more of it's not a traditional gaming expo where you get to see all the new cool stuff coming up. It's more retro.
Got ya. Cool, dude.
So-
Safe travels. It shouldn't be that bad of a flight. I'm assuming about 6 hours or so. Got ya. Good old Heathrow. At least the check-in at Heathrow is awesome. You don't have to take your shoes or anything off. It's fantastic. Well, when I was there, a year and a half ago, it was just basically walk through and you're good.
Yeah, we kind of don't like to kick up a fuss about anything really. Yeah. So I know what American airport security is like. It's just...
Well, you guys have like those Tupac holograms too of like flight. I'm being dead serious. Like it's like a plastic silhouette that they project a flight attendant on. She's sitting there talking to.
Oh God, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. They are. I actually thought it was a real person the first time I saw one of those, and I actually went up and spoke to it.
Sitting there having a chat, and you're like, this bitch is being a real cunt, huh? All right, guys. Well, I think we have laid down plenty of wishes that hopefully do come true. I think some of mine may be a little far-fetched, while others are more realistic. But that's why they're wishes. If we had a genie here, we could rub the lamp and make sure they all come true. So hopefully everyone enjoyed listening to our wants, needs, hopes in 2015. As always, we'll try to keep up. I really want to get the Budacast on a schedule now. We've bolstered the team. We're upwards of 19 motherfuckers on Entertainment Buddha, so you should see some new faces, start reading new styles of writing, maybe get some new content from some of these new guys. And unfortunately, no new girls. I definitely want a more of a female presence on the site because we're turning into every other website on the planet, which is basically a bunch of white
Anna's
guys.
feeling outnumbered.
Well, I don't blame her, man. I mean, Ray and I, we thought we had a couple, but they just kind of flaked out and fell through. So who knows? If you're out there, female geeks, and you want your voice to be heard, you know where to find us. We are an equal opportunity fake employer. All right, so before we close, let's just kind of go around the table. If you guys have anything you want to plug, social networks or whatnot, ready?
Find me
go,
over
David.
on Xbox Live and Steam under Sixth Night or Facebook under David Sieber.
Rock and roll. Nick?
I'm on Twitter at NickHershey33, and also make sure if you like sports and a couple guys talking about gambling, check out the No Pun Intended podcast. And yeah, we also have Entertainment Buddha Instagram. It's just Entertainment Buddha, so check it out there.
Kick ass. How about you, Craig? Anything?
You can find me lurking around on Steam, rarely, or I'm usually on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, hashtag, it's not hashtag, sorry, CraigAmon, just hanging around, talking random crap.
Awesome. And then make sure we might see some content coming from Craig from MagFest, so keep peeled to his socials and hopefully entertainmentboo.com for his first ever EB post. We got to pop that cherry, buddy. So, yeah. And then I'm Matt Haywood again. I'm the kind of the idiot behind entertainmentboo.com, where I want to make you a better geek one post a day, sincerely. All I ask is that you give me a follow on Twitter at Matt R. Haywood, HEYWOOD. Go to entertainmentboo.com on a daily basis. Follow our social accounts. I really do not try to spam bullshit at you. The stuff we put out, we believe in it. We think it's entertaining. We hope you think it's entertaining. So please, please come hang with us. Be our friend. That's going to do it for this inaugural 2015 Buddhacast. It's been real, guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Craig, it was great to have you. David, let's hope that STEM records, buddy. Nick, as always, keep gambling. So, all right, guys, we'll see you. I'm out.